Hello and welcome once more to Tribal Wars. This week I am playing Hydras again. I played this deck about 2 months ago, and I wouldn't usually come back to a deck so soon after that. I just like to keep varying things up. But Kumagoro donated a playset of Primordial Hydras to me and requested that I play the deck again, and apparently I am completely willing to do what people say when they give me things, so I'm coming back to Hydras. The deck is pretty much the same thing as what I played last time, except aforementioned Primordial Hydras and Nilia, God of the Hunt, which is basically it's just a green Sun Zenith target to get trample. So, in case you didn't see the previous video, basic idea is to produce tons and tons of mana with Arbor Elf and the land enchantments that they produce extra mana when you tap the attached land, and it untaps them. Rafellos produces just tons of mana in conjunction just with forests. Garrett Wildspeaker, same sort of thing as Arbor Elf, and then everything else is just big Hydras. Lots of X-cost Hydras to pour tons of mana into. Primordial, Mistcutter, and Hooded. Colonian Hydra doubles +1/+1 counters when it attacks, which is good with the Hydra because I think they've all got some component of +1/+1 on them. Yeah. And then Pelucanus and Hydra Broodmaster have Monstrosity, which is another way to make use of lots of mana. And then to round it all out, this Green Sun Zenith, just to, in the early game you can search for a Rafellos or an Arbor Elf, and then later on just get some of the big Hydras or the Nilia, as I mentioned. So yeah, that's it. Let's see if it does better or worse this time. Okay, here we are for round one with the ramp Hydras. I am on the draw with a somewhat sketchy hand. We've got a little bit of ramp, but not a lot. But possibly this is a place for Primordial Hydra to shine. We can just get that down early and let it tick up. So I'm going to keep it and see how it goes. TLR is mulligan down to 6 and kept that. And put the scry card on top. Okay, Forest is not exactly what this hand needed, but it is what it is. Very speculative, but just looking at these lands, I think of Splinter Twin fish combo. Oh god, just more forests. Okay, there is no reason to save Primordial Hydra until next turn, because then I'll just be playing it for one more, but it'll grow that much anyway. I mean, if this is Splinterfish, that is probably very bad for me because I'm running a deck with no interaction and no way to stop the combo. Let's just go to the attack step and see if anything happens. So I might flash in something. So if it is Splinterfish, then he's probably got some kind of flash creature. So attacking with Primordial Hydra would be a mistake. That being said, I don't actually have a very good reason to think it is fish. I mean, not doing anything until turn 3, including playing a preordain. Let me just go back and check. Topped both with preordain, so it seems so unlikely hasn't got anything. So I think a flash creature makes the most sense. So I'm not going to attack. That is unfortunately means nothing for the turn. Gonna look kind of dumb if he doesn't do anything here, but just a brainstorm. Brainstorm, no shuffle though. So that is awfully scary. I think it's fine to attack now when it's a 4/4. Fortunately, still can't do anything. Okay, he's starting to crack fetches, which makes you think he's going to be doing something like winning the game here. Yeah, breaching Hippocamp. So it seems likely that he's going to combo me out here. Looks like a Splinter Twin. Well, that is a little bit disappointing, but I am happy that I was able to correctly predict what he was playing just from seeing the lands. Okay, so that was not super great, but he just went straight into the combo, and I did not have a very fast hand, so hopefully we can do a little bit better here. Oh god. Well, this is a sort of similar situation of only one ramp spell, no particular synergy, but without even the Primordial Hydra. I'm going to mulligan it. Okay, this works better. Yeah, let's go for keep the Hydra Broodmaster. Just preordain. Let's see where he scries. Top bottom. So this is 4 mana. That's a Green Suns for 3. Let's just have a look at my own deck, and I could get Raffellos, and then next time I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, as opposed to just 6. That doesn't seem like it makes much of a difference. That 6 is still enough to cast Hydra Broodmaster, so I think I'll just save it and swing in for 1. Okay, well, another Sprawl works fine. Well, I suppose I said I had no interaction in the deck, but that's not actually true because we've got the Pelucranos ability. So if I can hold up enough mana, I can kill a Splinter Twinned creature with that. Let's think though, before I do anything reckless. So I could either just play the Hydra Broodmaster, or I think the only thing that really makes sense to Green Suns for is Pelucranos, just because it does have that amount of interaction. I'm just going to play the Broodmaster. Let's have a look at the fish that untap. So yeah, it's bounding Krasis or Krasis. Krasis, I think, and the Breaching Hippocamp, so that's a 3-3 and a 3-2. So that means I need at least 7 mana for a Pelucranos to be able to kill. The Krasis. This looks to me like my Hydra Broodmaster is going to get tapped down. I know. Interesting. Oh, I think pretty sure anything that makes sense is just to cast a Pelucranos. I am afraid that I'm just going to get comboed out again. Yep. Yeah, and I've only got 4 mana, so I can only do 1 damage with Pelucranos. So if I had instead, on the turn that I played Broodmaster, Green Sun Zenith for a Pelucranos, I could have held up. No, you know what, I couldn't have held up enough mana, because even then you could just use the Krasis to tap down the Arbor Elf, and then wouldn't be able to use that to untap mana, so I'd have enough, technically have enough mana, but not all on the actual right time, so I am dead. That is a shame, but it's not really surprising that this deck lost to Splinter Twin. That it's not got a lot of interaction, so that's sort of the sort of combo deck that just preys on just straight dumb ramp like this. Oh well, hopefully things go a bit better in round 2. Okay, here we are for round 3. Unfortunately, my round 2 opponent had had a bunch of technical issues and was not able to play. So here we are against Golden Lyn on the draw. Another hand which kind of light on the acceleration, but again I think I'm going to keep it on the strength of quick Primordial Hydra. Lyn's mulligan down to 6 it looks like, and bottomed the scry. It's like rats. I think I faced Gordon Lynn playing rats the last time I played Hydras. Was that? Maybe I'm misremembering. Anyway, I anticipate it being fairly discard heavy. So I think, generally speaking, the matchup comes down to if the discard is able to disrupt my opening hand to the point where I can't play things as a top deck, then, which certainly can be the case. I think I could have a hint to Torak or something that takes out my lands. Not this time. Then that's when the match usually goes really badly. If you can't play things off the top, then the rat player's top deck's discard is still useful. Whereas if you can just play everything as it comes, then they have the chance of just drawing a bunch of thought seizers and such in the late game that don't do anything. So what would you take with this thought seize? Primordial Hydra is anything I can actually cast. But I've got two. I mean, maybe just take one of the Hydras, one of the Primordial Hydras. And he might have it's like a removal spell. I need to take out the other one. Yeah, let's just play a mighty 1/1 Primordial Hydra. Yeah, Victim of Night takes it out, so that's certainly bad for me, but stuck on 2 lands. Golden Lane. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just play a Dried Arbor and do nothing, and then hopefully I can just go the Colonian Hydra into the Broodmaster and have them win the game for me. Ravenous Rats. Take a forest, I suppose. Slay the Colonian Hydra. Assuming no discard this turn from Golden Lane. And just play the Broodmaster. Oh, hints Torak, okay. I guess it's up to Colonian Hydra to win then. He's got a Death Touch Rat, but we have got the Rogue's Passage to get past it and crow the Hydra. 1, 2, 3, 4. So playing the Raphaelos means not attacking with the Colonian Hydra, which means not doing 8 damage. I do think it's probably correct just to be able to have tons of, well, 2 extra mana, but sorry, 3 extra mana, just so there's I've got a good chance of being able to play anything that I draw off the top. Just want to keep my hand empty from against the discard deck, generally speaking. Cycling another Baron more. it's a cloning Hydra. That's not great for me. Just going to attack for a fairly anemic 2 damage, but that's the only thing I can do this turn. So in a top deck battle, okay. Well, I'm in a top, very much on the top decking side of things. I've got a good sort of supply of mana, so I will be able to cast anything that I do draw. And obviously the rat decks has a very hard time actually applying pressure without a pack rat. It's going to be a pack rat now. No, just the ravenous rats, which it's literally just a 1/1 for 2. Okay, I guess I'm attacking for 2 again. Save targets. I don't actually know what that does. See, my deck is clearly superior because my 1/1 only costs 1 mana. Well, it's tempting to trade the Arbor Elf for the Typhoid Rats just because the Death Touch is kind of annoying, but the Arbor Elf does represent 3 mana, so I don't think that's necessary. Just ring rats. See, this is the really annoying thing when you're in a situation where you're drawing things that you can't play. This is basically Time Walk. But if you can play things and your hand is empty, then it's not nearly as scary. So let's see. It's just 6 mana. We've got 3, 6, 9. 12. Yeah. I'm not going to attack with anything or anything just because I want the ability to monstrosity in case it's the Broodmaster gets killed. I do want, even if they're not very big, I do want to be able to create a couple of little Hydra tokens. So yeah, I'm just gonna not do anything and pour all my mana into monstrositying. And then the well, the tokens will be able to win, or just the unblockable giant Broodmaster will be able to win. Oh no, I need to. Arbor Elf is annoying like this. 666s, please. And let's... While we're here... X is 4. Give them all... Trample. Okay, so yeah, that does just auto target. There we go. So that should be a nice bit of overkill. 13 points of unblockable damage and 36 points of trample damage. So I'm reasonably certain there's no one card in Lynn's hand that could allow him to survive. Yes, negative 32. How very Hydra of me. So this is kind of a, I guess, it's something of a scary matchup, I suppose, because the rats are good at forcing you to stumble early, but they, my experience is that they do have something of a hard time kind of punishing you for stumbling, just because they have a hard time outputting damage. So they sort of force you into a top deck battle, but they don't necessarily win the top deck battle. I didn't really discuss it, but keeping this hand, I mean, basically you have to have a completely non-functional hand to want to mulligan against a discard deck. Ooh, no turn 1 discard to get rid of my Garrett Wild Speakers, that's nice. So might get him to Torok this turn. That'll be my best guess. Or oh, yeah, I was going to say maybe Fatal Push there, but no, it's cycling a Barrenmoor. Ooh. Oh wow, cycling a Barrenmoor with no other lands in hand. That's certainly daring. So Utopia Sprawl and then untap it with Arbor Elf, makes 4 mana. Garrick. Create 3 mana. That doesn't seem better than just creating a 3/3 beast. Create a big hooded Hydra next turn. Yeah, let's just do that. And then create a big miscutter Hydra next turn, and that should win the game. So 7/7 on turn 3, so that's not bad. Second land, but I don't necessarily know what could be played to I mean just the creature him to Torok, so I do lose my Miscutter Hydra. Ooh, Colonian Hydra. Yeah, that's play that cloning Hydra. Attack for 11, and then next turn I'll be able to ultimate the Garrick and get trample. So I mean, the cloning Hydra has trample it by itself. That's 8 points of trample damage. So I don't think there's anything that could stop me from winning here. Well, I mean, I went for a massive overkill last time. Let's do it this time as well. I'm sure none of you mind watching me tap all this for no real reason other than to make big numbers. Ah, they all get doubled except for the beast. The cloning Hydra dies. The Miscutter Hydra dies, but there's still 25 points of damage. Hooray! So I mean, not super impressive to beat an opponent who gets stuck on 1 mana. But I mean, turn 5 wins not bad. Turn 5 massive overkill's not bad. Okay, here we are for a bonus round against AJ and P, because getting crushed by Twin and then having no opponent round 2 it's not very satisfying. So I want to play, and this seems like a fine hand. Our growth into Raffellos, into big things. Kind of assume that AJ's still playing Azra from before. Another copy of a legendary creature is not ideal, but Bluecrest is pretty powerful. Mindblade Render, that's the whenever a warrior deals damage. Okay, I hadn't really, because this is a really weirdly phrased ability. Whenever your opponents are dealt combat damage, if any of that damage was dealt by a warrior, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So you can only draw 1 card per combat step. But okay, yeah. So this is more of the team stuff that that doesn't matter online. So if someone else on your team deals combat damage with a warrior to one of your opponents, I suppose it matters for 4-player commander stuff. Anyway, wait, let me actually. So I've got 2 mana from Raffellos. So I've got 6 mana, so I could green sun for a cloning Hydra. Is that better than playing Pelucanus? It seems like it. Just because the Hydra It's better the more times you can attack with it. Yeah, nothing else really makes much sense. Okay, so another Mind Blade render and no third land. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could Polychronos and then activate it for 2, but that's not enough to kill anything. It would get doubled by Colonial Hydra, that doesn't seem worth it. That's an odd block. Just maybe he's forgotten that it's got the trample. Because losing one of those things for just to save 3 life doesn't seem super worth it. But assuming that Colonial Hydra doesn't die, I'm in a pretty good position to just activate the Polychronos to clear out the blockers and then swing for lethal. Yeah, AJ just sent a message. Needed that third land. Yeah. Kind of unfortunate, but a decent showing from my own deck. And this seems like a completely unkeepable hand. Okay, this is fine. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we do have the devotion. So let's think. We could go turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, turn 2 could Raphello plus Green Sun for a Dryad Arbor. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 mana. I think we're at bottom nearly here. I guess a black-red deck is likely to have a decent amount of removal. And if it just kills Raphellos off, then that could be in a bad spot. Okay, just a tapped Blood Crypt. This is the haste granting thing. Ooh. That's not a bad draw. No, I've got gonna have a decent amount of mana, even if one of my creatures dies. And the odds maker. Discard a card if you do choose a creature, and that creature deals combat damage for the player this turn. You may draw 2 cards. So yeah, I'm just taking 5 and he's drawing 2 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could green some for a Broodmother, I think, or a Colonian Hydra, or, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 mana. Could also Polychronous and play a morphed hooded Hydra. I think I would prefer to play out 2 creatures this turn. Wait, did I only have 7 mana? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. Okay, so no more creatures being cast for the haste though, so there's a decent chance he can't afford to attack this turn. Didn't discard anything. Well, since I've got another Polychronous in hand, I'm happy to just trade off. Am I happy to trade off the morphed hooded Hydra? Yes, I think I am. I'm just between Green Sun Zenith and Polychronous and its activated ability, and probably the activated ability on the creature I get out of this. I'm just going to have tons of things to spend my mana on over the next couple of turns. Oh, he's got some kind of sweeper. Damnation, yeah. That's kind of bad for me. I'm still glad I traded off, obviously, and I'm glad you're in a land to get the Polychronous down. This is the Death Touch, partner with Gorm. That thingy. Okay, so I've got 4 mana. So I think I'm just gonna play a little Primordial Hydra. could have used Green Sun's Zenith to get some kind of mana acceleration. But I think I probably, at this point, would not hate to just wait until I draw some more lands and use it for actual gas. Ooh. And this is battlefield attacks, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent control. So there goes my Primordial Hydra. And I guess if I lose, so I'll go down to 12 from the actual damage and then lose half my life down to 6, and then this flying 6/6 will kill me. And you can cast the Gorm. So yeah, I think I do actually have to trade off here. As unpleasant a feeling as that is. So it's only crew 3, so blech. You can play Gorm, and you'll have 3, and you can crew that and kill Raphaelos. Hit me for 6 down to 7. Well, unfortunately, I think my only option here is to green sun for an Arbor Elf and then hope to draw something useful off the top. Not 100% sure what that useful thing would be. But I'm going to lose one of my mana creatures here. So yeah, this looks like a Gorm with the green mana. And you can find another Virtus with this. When I first saw the partner with such and such, I only really thought of it as a tutoring mechanic, but you can chain one into the other and then back into the next one, and then so it's a good card advantage engine as well. And that will not do it. Well, that damnation got me pretty good. Okay. Not my favourite hand ever. But it's got a couple of acceleration and a payoff card, so, and a payoff card that's good against damnation. So I'm going to have 3, 4, 5 mana next turn. So I might just morph this. I might just play that. I like that one a bit better. And if he gets up to, I mean, he'll get to 3 mana this turn. I can play the Hooded Hydra face up for as much as possible, and then grow it with the Colonian Hydra, and then even if he can Damnation, I'll leave behind a bunch of... Okay, never mind. Terminate. And he gets to draw a card. Does him casting Terminate imply he doesn't have a Damnation? Not necessarily, because I mean, terminating allowed him to get in with the render. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I should play the Polychronous. So 4/4 Hooded Hydra's not that impressive. Unless he has the Damnation. I guess I should have attacked with the Dryad Arbor. And just another Terminate. Okay, that's kind of annoying. And he gets to draw another card. Another Mind-Blade Render. Okay, let's just play as big a Hooded Hydra as possible. It's a 5/5, so if he's got another Terminate, and still leaves 5 power in play. He might well just be attacking because just to trade one of them, Mind-Blade renders in play for just for the card draw. He might be Damnationing. Well, he might be doing something else. Seems kind of unlikely to be Damnation in that position. Okay, yeah, just the Sky Sovereign to take out my Dryad Arbor. That makes sense. Can I afford to attack? Can I afford not to attack? So if he's got another 2 power in hand, which he's got 6 cards, so it's likely, even if I hold the Hooded Hydra back, he can just crew the Sky Sovereign and hit for 6 in the air, so I think I do have to swing for 5. I should play the Wild Growth. I was thinking of holding it in hands just to bluff something, but in case I draw a miscut to Hydra off the top. Or anything with X in its casting cost, I suppose. This is not a warrior, which is nice. That is attack me for 7. He gets to draw a card. Really would not mind drawing a miscut to Hydra off the top here. Colonian Hydra. Okay. So if I attack with the Hooded Hydra, what happens? Probably plays Gorm. He probably plays, well, if he plays Gorm, it's got haste, so I'm going to have to block it with both creatures. But he probably can't play Gorm. Well, he might be able to play Gorm and then like a 2 power creature. So that'd be 6. 7, 8, 9. Well, I think since Gorm can force both my creatures to block Gorm, there's actually not that much point in holding back 2 creatures. I suppose another removal spell is a reason, but he's already gone through 2 Terminates. How could he possibly have any more removal in his entire deck? Getting him low does matter when I've got a trample creature. So there's Gorm. It's another Virtus. Okay, but looks like he's Maybe just hitting me for 7 and then the other 2. Oh, I did not consider this, that yeah, this Sky Sovereign plus the Gorm kills the Colonian Hydra. So yeah, I get down to 1 here. Ah, yes! Ah, way better to be lucky than to be good. I mean, it might have like just a instant speed removal spell or something, but I think this was probably my only way of winning. Hooray! And here we are with another bonus round versus Kumagoro this time. And I'm on the play. And this is certainly the kind of hand that could do nothing if a Colonian Hydra dies, but certainly not mulliganing it. Kuma's gone down to 6, it looks like. But put the Scry to the top. And this is the 0-1 plant token land. So that was a convenient draw because Arbor Elf plus Wild Growth makes enough land for enough mana for a Pelucanus. And I will say that is a decent turn to play. Oh, this is just a glorious draw. Colonian Hydra into Mistcutter Hydra is always very nice. Burning Tree Shaman, this is the whenever a player activates an ability that isn't a mana ability, Burning Tree Shaman deals 1 damage to that player. And Arbor Elf is not a mana ability because it's on tapping rather than creating mana. But I don't think that's going to matter very much because this is actually a pretty absurd draw that I've had. It's just... It's just attack for large amounts. That's 27 points of damage. That is the incorrect block. This is blocked the trample one instead of the other one, but whatever. I think that was a just. Well, I mean, I guess it's the green ramp deck doing exactly what it wants to do. Not sure there is a much better draw that my deck is capable of. Well, not quite the same level of explosion this here, but It is a keep. Turn 3 Colonial Hydra into Colonial Hydra. Nope. Colonial Hydra certainly work well together. Might as well attack the Arbrel. Very much doubt he's playing with any flash creatures in red-green centaurs. So he might have a natural order here, I suppose. That's probably why he's playing Colony Garden, is to have better capacity to go into turn 4 natural order. No, it's just a creature, Courser of Prefix, showing not a land. Garrick's not bad, but pretty confident. I just wanted to start playing Colonial Hydras. So I doubt that you can get up to 8 points of power on the table, starting from just the 2 of course there. So I can probably safely attack with a Colonial Hydra after I've played another one, and then they'll both be 8/8s, and then I can attack with both of them the next turn. They'll both trigger, and they'll both be 32 trampler creatures. And assuming nothing super terrible happens to me this turn, I think that's should probably win me the game. Ah, well, not super terrible, but a bit annoying. So Garrick into Raphaelos, or Garrick into just create a beast. Let's just attack first. I'm just gonna Garrick into Raphaelos. Although, I mean, obviously against the red-green, they're not gonna have a hard time killing an 8/8. So there's a good chance this will just attack for 16 next turn, and even if you can put out enough tons to actually survive, it's going to require losing a lot of his creatures. Yeah, there we go. So I had a couple of pretty, well, game 1 was, I'd describe as a pretty amazing draw, and this one was a pretty good draw. And just the Centaurs weren't able to really do anything quickly enough to be able to compete. It's just Sudden Demise was certainly, if it had come down slightly earlier and stopped me from playing the Colonial Hydra so quickly, then that would probably have been pretty bad. But once a Colonial Hydra got on the board, he's had a hard time dealing with it, or an impossible time dealing with it, I suppose. Okay, I think Kuma was feeling a little bit ripped off by how good my draws were in that last game, so he wanted a rematch. Well, this seems like a pretty good hand. I mean, could do with certainly could do with drawing some more land. Obviously, Raphaelos is not very good if you've only got one forest, but I'm keeping it. Hey. Let's put the wild growth because I know the white border annoys him. Just get that out nice and early. So, assuming the Raphaelos lives, which looks like it is, looking at 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could just miscut to Hydra, hit attack for 6. Certainly a good way of good thing to do against an opponent who's not hitting lands is just to pressure them as much as possible. But the Hydra Broodmaster is just so much more fun. I mean, the Hydra Broodmaster does a very good job of pressuring. Once you've got a bunch of mana, because it usually only takes it 2 turns to kill. So yeah, let's just attack with the Broodmaster. Make as many put as much power in play as we can. So hitting him down to 8, we've got a bunch of 4/4s, and I've got a hasty Hydra next turn as well. Goes back up to 9. He's going to have to do something pretty special here not to die. And he doesn't have it. So I don't think I've gone any easier on him that game. There's another really good fast draw. Okay, so this isn't quite as brutally explosive. I think it's still probably worth keeping, just because turn 1 Green Suns for a Dryad Arbor into turn 2 Primordial Hydra. Assuming, I mean, the small Hydra is much more likely to die before it gets big than obviously the other stuff that I've been doing. Oh, perfect, I don't even need to spend a Green Sun Zenith. But obviously the Hydra is good at taking over the game if it does survive. So I could Green Sun Zenith for Raphaelos instead of playing the Primordial Hydra. I'll put him into 6 mana next turn. Yeah, that seems better. Because this way, if he has an earthquake or whatever, the Hydra won't die to it. It doesn't look like that's what's going on. He's natural ordering. So this is the whenever another creature you control attacks against trample and indestructible until end of turn. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Certainly afford to take at least one hit from the Stone Age Chieftain. But I could play a small Primordial Hydra and a Nilia. Nilia will be able to absorb most of the damage from the Stonehoof Chieftain. Or I could just play the Hydra Broodmaster. Well, I'm not entirely sure which is correct, but I'm trying to do this to... because these are the new cards that I haven't played with before. And Kuma gave me the Primordial Hydra, so I should at least show it off. Yeah, he decides it's not worth getting in because it's just going to be 2 damage. So I can just throw the indestructible guard in front of the chieftain. So 4, 8, 9. I think I'll probably find, well, I definitely want to play the Broodmaster, but is it worth it to just play a morphed Hooded Hydra? I don't really know when I'm going to have an opportunity to cast it otherwise. Just because I'm going to be pouring so much mana into this, and then I've got Rose Passage and Nilia. The question is whether playing a morphed Hooded Hydra actually really does anything. No. I think the risk of him just playing an Earthquake... Is it an Earthquake? Whatever it is, the deal damage to each creature is just too high. It's just not worth it. So if I play a 2/2 Hooded Hydra, then you can kill Primordial and the Raphaelos and the morphed Hooded Hydra. That's not what he's doing though. Sorry, so that's 4, 8, 9, 10. Get us up to 11, 11. But then you could triple block it and I'd be trading the Broodmaster for the 2 Burning Tree Shamans. I think it might be worth it. Let's see how he blocks. Okay, he's just throwing the indestructible thing in front of it. I'm fine with that because I can... I'm supposed to take a bit of damage from the Burning Tree Shamans, but I can grow it big enough to survive, and it does have Trampler because of the nearly earth, so it even does 3 damage to him. Obviously he's still stuck on three lands, so I do want to try and do damage to him, end this before he can do something too scary. Sudden Demise comes in a bit too late, it just takes out the Raphaelis. So yeah, it wasn't Earthquake, it was Sudden Demise. I'm certainly glad I monstrous the Broodmaster before the Raphaelis died. So he's got 16 points of toughness. Actually, it doesn't matter. I can just Rogue's Passage the 11/11 and then anything else. He's only got 3 blockers. And that wins it. Again, took a bit of damage from the Burning Tree Shamans. So there we go. I basically brutalised Kumagora. I mean, he did get stuck on mana a couple of times, so a little bit unfair. But still, I mean, it is a basically more or less green mirror, sort of rampy green mirror. Natural order, sort of a ramp card here, but I'm just the bigger ramp deck. So I mean, you can't. It's not fast enough to kill me super quickly, and then I've got things that can just overpower the board. And Primordial Hydra can grow and grow and grow. So I think it's probably a not a great matchup for him, and not a great way of showing off his. I mean, if he can get a quick Sudden Demise off and kill all my Raphaelis and Arbrels and such, then that could be bad for him. That's probably the easiest way for him to win this match. It's just cut me off mana in the early game with a Sudden Demise. And then his sort of more mid-rangey threats can just win before I be able to recover. But I had 2 matches where I was able to basically do whatever I wanted. Not quite, but just be able to get the big monsters out and get them huge. And it's a decent way to win with Hydras. If you get the room to breathe, then got a good chance of running the opponent over. Anyway, there we go. Not a bad showing for the Hydras. Right, here we are back with the deck, and a successful outing with 4-1 total in the matches I played. I mean, don't really have a lot to say that I haven't already said. Didn't get to play with actually use the Primordial Hydra in Nilia, which are the new additions. I had the Primordial Hydra round 1 against TLR's Fish Twin, where it didn't really matter, but nothing in my deck really mattered against the combo, so can't really hold that against the Primordial Hydra. And then played with it recently against Kuma, and didn't super matter, but for the other reason that the Hydra Broodmaster was really the thing that won the game. Still, that if I hadn't had that, Primordial Hydra is just against a deck that red-green in particular, where once it gets beyond, say, probably about 4, they're going to have a real hard time actually ever removing it. So you can just sit behind it and eventually it'll win the game. I certainly do think they are a good addition to the deck, even if I didn't get to show them off so much in this event. Rogue's Passage proved useful. It's 2 might still be too many, 1 too many, just because A, they're bad with Raphellos. I mean, not least because they don't add mana, but also if you've got a forest into a Rogue's Passage, you can't cast it to turn 2 Raphellos, and it is quite a mana hungry ability, but it is still very useful for pushing through damage. The only real consideration I think for change is numbers of Primordial Hydra versus Miscutter Hydra versus Hooded Hydra. Kind of considering just going down to 1 Hooded Hydra and up to 4 Miscutter. The Hooded Hydra it's always a little bit clunky because it's never very efficient. Even if you're morphing it and then unmorphing it, you're spending a total of 8 mana, even if it is over 2 turns, to get a 5/5. And it's just if you just pouring mana into it, it's just less efficient than the Miscutter Hydra, obviously, because the Miscutter Hydra only needs 1 green plus X. One of the big reasons I added Hooded Hydra to the deck was just the ability, if you're struggling on mana, maybe you're not hitting your land drops, so you're only getting 1 or 2 ramp spells, maybe a pair of Arbor Elves or a pair of auras that don't actually synergize that well together. Just being able to spend a 3 mana on the morph and then 5 mana on morph, even if it is somewhat inefficient, just gives you something to do in those when the deck isn't functioning at its most powerful and isn't producing 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever mana. Can be useful, but Primordial Hydra kind of fulfills that role as well now, where you can just play it for 3 and it does better than the Hooded Hydra at that role. Advantage of the Hooded Hydra still is it's good against like Damnation or whatever that we faced against AJ, just sweepers that can puts a bunch of maintains its power in play, which means it's harder for a Damnation to stabilize. But equally, Miscutter Hydra has some pretty big advantages. Just a big hasty creature off the top can easily win games like it did against AJ. Just something to get lucky off the top with. So maybe just the 4th Miscutter Hydra would be better than the 2nd Hooded Hydra. I wouldn't hate to find another way to stick a 2nd Garruk Wildspeaker into the deck. It is very nice when you can go turn 1 Arbor Elf into turn 2 Aura, and then untap the Enchanted Land and have 4 mana. So I wouldn't mind some more 4-drops for that reason. And Garruk's a nice one to do it with. Still, very happy with the deck overall. It's just a matter of tweaking 1 or 2 cards, I suppose. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching, and tune in again next week.